Hey everybody, how's it going? Today I wanted to go over this interesting little story here. Now, to be clear, similar with the New York Post story, whether or not the story itself is actually 100% factually correct and everything did happen, I'm not concerned with that. What I'm concerned with is the lesson that you can actually learn from going through the story that may, create some interesting discussion among people that run repair shops. So this one says, man discovers shocking note hidden in the back of an iPhone. This comes from the off-the-world crazy place called Australia. It says, a man has shared a shocking note he claims to have discovered in the back of an iPhone he was attempting to repair. In a clip shared to social media app TikTok, Charlie Brown, the technician explained how a husband and wife came in together to drop the damaged goods to him. He told the couple to return in an hour, but was left with a moral dilemma when he opened the back of the phone. Inside the case was a $100 bill and a note from the husband that suggested he had been having an affair. Please tell my wife the phone is unfixable. She wants to check the call history. 100 is yours. Thanks, the note said. The repairman asked his TikTok followers what he should do. Tell the wife or keep the money. The people were divided over what action the technician should take, with some urging him to tell the wife what others suggested not to get involved. She deserves to know, one said. When they come back for the phone, give it back. The note, the money, all of it. Have no part of it. Tell him you couldn't fix his problem, another suggested. Good deeds pay more. Tell her, a third added. However, others urged the technician not to get involved in their marriage problems. Keep it. It's not your problem to create an issue. 100 is yours for services rendered. Do him a favor and factory reset it, one commented. Do your job and don't make the problem yours, someone said. Don't tell her and give him back the money, someone else suggested. In a video filmed the next day, the technician is seen handing a woman back the iPhone 7 while admitting he did not fix it. I didn't fix it because I opened it and this was inside, he told the woman. As she quietly read the note, he said he wanted nothing to do with it and for the couple not to get him involved in their problems. Are you effing serious? The woman yells after reading the note. He thinks he's so fucking slick. She then offers the technician $200 to repair the phone. I want it fixed. I want to see what he's been fucking doing, she said. As she started crying and becoming more hysterical, she said to the technician, I want it fixed right fucking now. The repairman said he didn't know what to say, but told her he would fix it for her while reiterating he did not want anything to do with what was going on. I just feel bad because I want you to know the truth, but it's none of my business, he says to the woman before walking into the back room with the phone. Many praised him on TikTok, saying he did the right thing. You may have just saved her years in an unfaithful marriage. I applaud you, dear sir, one wrote. Women everywhere are praising you, another person gushed. However, some did criticize the technician, saying he broke the bro code. Husband confronts technician. In a third video uploaded to TikTok, the repairman starts filming as he is confronted in the phone shop by a man believed to be the husband who left the note. The husband came in to pick up the phone, stating it was the one with the note inside, and the technician informs him his wife retrieved it already. My wife. That's why I left the note in there, he said. The technician responds, I told her, don't get me involved in that shit. The phone technician told the wife about the note. The husband then says he did get involved before flying into a fit of rage and throwing what appears to be a Perspex screen at the technician. While some said that's what you get for cheating, there were others speculating the video is fake. The whole story is fishy, one said. This is staged, another claims. The man who posted the TikTok did not respond to the speculation. So, regardless of whether or not this is a true story, there is a lesson to learn here, which is that if you try to go for the money instead of the respect or a normal business relationship, you'll get neither. And one of I've discussed this in an older video here, do you bend the rules for high-paying clients? And the moral of the story, for me at least, has always been that if you allow misery like this into your life, because you want the money, you'll wind up with neither. So when I say I'm not going to take money if I don't believe it's a good idea to, it's not because I'm a moral or ethical human being at all. It's because we live in a world where there's an 800 number on the back of every credit card, and if you call that number, you can get all the money back. Now, I know in this case it's cash, but just hear me out here. In a society where anybody can just get their money back with calling an 800 number, it really does not make sense to let any sort of nightmare into your life. There was just one example recently, one of we are very selective about customers. And there was one person who sent something in. They didn't believe the estimate that we gave. They demanded that we perform services that were going to break their machine further. They expected perfection out of it in spite of providing their own estimate. They were combative with staff. They didn't believe anything. And technically, the machine was fixable. And it was able to, you could have finally goaded them into the service that was required. But we said no fix, just because we know that they are going to call that 800 number on the back of their card, and they're going to find something that is wrong with it, and then you're not going to get anything. So we ship it back. I use the cheapest method available to ship it back because I know that they're going to file a chargeback on the return shipping based on the conversations that we had. And when he gets it back, he points to something that was damaged already, says that we did it, and then very predictably, I should say, unsurprisingly, files a chargeback on the shipping. Now, yeah, okay, I'm out not much there because we open the bottom of the machine, provide estimate, send it back. So, okay, whatever, I'm out $10. Who gives a shit? However, if we had actually performed all the repairs, I could be out $200 or $300 in parts, $100 or $200 in labor. That would suck. So if I decided, let me be greedy and try to get as much as I can, not only would I not get the money, but I would have wasted parts that I paid for and hours of technician time. So one of the things that I go over regularly on this channel when I bring this stuff up is don't be greedy for every last dollar, not because you're moral or ethical, but rather because big picture thinking, you're greedy. You want to be able to make as much as you can, which means keeping crap like this out of your life. So let's get into this situation. Let's say that you say, sorry, the phone is unfixable. You hand it back to the customer. Let's say you took the $100 in cash because there's no chargebacks on cash, right? You hand the phone back. You say, sorry, it's not fixable. They move on. So let's say that she decides, I don't trust this guy that much. You took the $100. You got the $100. It's cash. There's no chargeback there. But she says, I don't trust this guy that much. Let's try someplace else. Let's see what some other shop says. Or let's say he guesses, okay, guess the phone's not fixable, tosses the nightstand, but she realizes there's a reason to be suspicious. She takes the phone and she brings it to some other shop, and they actually fix it. And they find out that let's just say it was something like the only issue was the FPC plug for the screen popped out because whoever replaced the screen before didn't put that little rubber piece, that little foamy piece thingy on top of it. In the iPhone 4 and 4S days, there used to be a piece of foam on top of the screen plug, and then the metal would screw in over it and keep it pushing the phone. When people would replace the screen, they never put a replacement foam there, and if they didn't put a replacement foam there, it could pop out very easily. And crappy repair shops would do this, and the even crappier ones would actually blame the customer when it broke again and try to charge them rather than apologize for not putting the piece of foam there. But anyway, let's say it's something really basic, and the other shop fixes it, and she finds all this stuff out. Now, your reputation as a repair shop is down because she is going to leave you a 1-star review and rightfully, factually say the only problem with this phone was the screen connector popped out. They said they couldn't fix it. Must be morons. Then let's say she finds out what's on the phone, has a fight with the husband, goes back and forth, and the husband throws you under the bus and says, listen, I didn't know anything about this. They must have just been a shitty repair shop or whatever. And then they, finally says, okay, fine, I bribed him to say that. And then she updates her review to say, okay, not only are they dumb, but they are willing to be bribed into saying that easily fixable stuff is not fixable, doesn't include the whole story. Now you look bad. Let's say she winds up going to your store and having some sort of screaming match back and forth while you're in the middle of your customers. It's not going to be worth that $100 because you could be in the middle of a conversation in your store for a $500 or $900 or $2,000 data recovery that someone's more than happy to pay for, but then they see this argument and they're like, man, I'm not trusting you with this shit. Get out of here. That's going to happen when you invite this shit into your life. And it's, in some way, shape, or form, you are going to lose more than the $100 that you took in. And that's what I talk about in this old video of mine where I'm saying, do you bend the rule for high-paying clients? If you try and bend the rules for high-paying clients, or if you change the way that you deal with things, not only are you not going to get the respect, but you're also going to lose out on the money. And anytime you do something like this, you're going to lose. Now, the way that he fucked himself here is by not opening the phone right in the front. That if he had opened the phone in the front, if he had a setup where he was opening the phone in the front of the store just for an initial consultation, this would have been within view of the husband and wife. I used to do this until my store got much larger, and it's not as feasible now. But if he had just opened it right in the front and seen the note with the $100, there would have been what is this shit? And it would have been more difficult to hide. And then he could have just said, listen, you two solve this shit amongst yourselves. He wouldn't have gotten in the middle and been blamed for, telling the wife something. Because he said, I don't want to get involved with it. Well, technically the guy's right. He did get involved with it by speaking to the wife or rather than just giving it back and saying, I don't want anything to do with it. But he was involved from the very beginning, because at that point, either he was involved as someone who was openly keeping the secret from the wife that he had access to, which is the guy's cheating. If he gives it back to the guy, even if he doesn't take the $100, he's involved because he's not telling her. Or if he tells her he's involved, like one way or the other, he's involved, but that was the husband's choice to get him involved to begin with. I also saw an invoking of the bro code. I think what's very important when it comes to discussions of bro code is that you're not my bro. You're a random person that walked into my store. You brought a bomb into my store, and you're trying to bribe me. You're trying to get me involved in your shit. You involve me in your misery of your personal relationship. Fuck you. It's one thing if this is someone that I've known for 15 years. I know them to be a genuinely good human being and great person. They've been growing through life-ruining stress for 3 to 5 years, and they meet someone that has all of these incredible interests. They share these interests, that has a great admiration for him, and then, one thing leads to another in the office one night, and then something happens that shouldn't have happened while you were separated from your wife. And some random fuckface that walks into my store that I don't know, that I've never met, that leaves a bomb on my desk. You can't invoke bro code there. You're not my bro. It just sucks. Like me personally, if it was me and this happened, I would bring the phone back to David. David would open it. He would show me this note. I would immediately say, yep. I would walk up to both of them and say, get the shit. I need you to walk out. I need you guys to come out here. Solve this amongst yourselves. Solve this amongst yourselves. I wouldn't even say in the store, listen, this guy's cheating, blah, blah, blah. I would just walk them out of the store. Very, very politely say, hey, I just need you to come out here for a moment. I need to show you something. You need to solve your problems amongst yourselves, because I want nothing to do with this. $100 is not worth it. Having you screaming in my store is not worth it. Whatever money I make from fixing your phone is not worth it. And as someone who has let people know that their significant other may be cheating because I was their friend or something else, it very rarely goes well for you. Very rarely do you get a pat in the back and have them say, thank you so much for telling me what I needed to hear. Often they wind up hating you, even if you're their friend, more than they hate the person that was cheating on them to begin with. This is why when you have a person who is with someone who is cheating on them, you may notice that their friends kind of know what's going on, but don't tell them. Because once they tell them, it's not, oh, thank you for telling me. Wow, I didn't see this. I'm so glad you did. It's, wow, now my world's view of having a happy relationship is ruined, and it's your fault that you told me. It's sad, but it's how it works out often in real life. I don't really care, because if you're gonna hate me more than you hate the person that was actually cheating on you, we weren't friends to begin with, and I'd like to figure that out sooner rather than later. But either way, in this situation, I would probably just walk them out of the store in a very, very polite fashion, say, I want nothing to do with this. Here you go. And when they ask me why, I would say, consult amongst yourselves. That I'm not dealing with it. Not be like, just nope. That's on you. You two deal with each other. And let me know what you think in the comments down below. There's also the fact that he says, this seems like a fake story. Yeah, I mean, unless this is security camera footage, I don't understand how you would be recording this whole thing. Like, if someone's about to, knock me out or throw something at me because they're pissed, I probably wouldn't be holding a little camera. Actually, kind of curious. Let's see. They have video in this. Yeah, they have photos, but I don't know. Like, how... The husband says he did get involved before flying into a fit of rage and throwing what appears to be Perspex screen at the technician. If that's security footage, maybe it's real. If it's not security footage, I just find it really hard to believe that, like, you're recording this whole thing and the guy's not looking at you saying, get that camera out of my face, man. I don't know. I don't even have TikTok. I listen to Charlie Brown, so couldn't watch the video. The moral of the story for me is the lesson that I would try to get across to people here who have their own repair shops is that there's really no idea of, I'm just going to take this money even though there's some trouble that may be associated with it, because in the long run, you're going to have the trouble and you're not going to get the money. So in some way, shape, or form, that money is going to leave you, even if you think that it's something very basic and simple. I see lots of people think that they're going to take, they don't decline jobs that they should decline. They don't decline customers that they should decline, and they wind up either getting taken to small claims court. They have people screaming in their store for hours on end. They have people that torture them, and You don't have to take in every single customer. You don't have to serve every single customer. When something shows up that you know is just going to, you have that feeling, you know, based on their demeanor, the way they're treating you, the way they're speaking with you, that this is going to end in a Department of Consumer Affairs complaint or a lawsuit or a chargeback. You can say, I don't think that we would be the best to serve you. The Apple store is on 14th Street. You're allowed to do that. It's like so many people in this business think that they need to take every last dollar, but above all, they believe that there is even the trade to be made, that I can give up some of my principles, or I can give up some of just my ability to keep a clean, peaceful, tranquil life in order to make a little bit more money. And in my experience, working for other companies and with my own, it's always been the same, which is when you think that you're going to make a little bit more money by inviting some trouble into your life, you're going to lose you're going to get the trouble and you're going to lose the money. Let me know what you think of this dumpster fire in the comments down below. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. You may notice that BlackBerry has taken Mr. Clinton's spot today. Mr. Clinton and BlackBerry got into a spat earlier, and BlackBerry was actually able to get around Mr. Clinton's block and thwop him right in the face as he was messing with her. He always messes with her because he's a giant Clinton and she's a tiny little Berry. But today, BlackBerry reigns supreme because she's my kitty. She actually had to take inflammatory medicine for 3 days because she had a lump around her neck and chest area that I'm hoping shrunk. I'm hoping is not cancerous. The vet wanted something around like $1,800 to $2,600 to remove it. You're gonna have to get a job, BlackBerry. They don't have Medicare for all for kittens. Hell, they don't even have Medicare for all for humans. But definitely not Medicare for all for kittens. We're hoping the best for BlackBerry. See y'all later.